YouTube, what is good? So I decided to be a little extra with that introduction today. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button. It helps out the video a lot. But today we are talking about selling prints. So I posted some new prints to my site, which inspired me to make this video because I know a lot of y'all are interested in selling prints for yourself. And I think I sold my first print in 2014, and I've made a lot of mistakes since then. I've learned a lot, so today I want to take that learning curve out of the picture for y'all so you don't have to make 4 to 5 years of mistakes like I did. So before we get going today, I want to thank our sponsor, Squarespace. Head over to squarespace.com/EvanRanft to start a free trial today, or use code EvanRanft to get 10% off your first purchase. Now, last month, I did a video with Squarespace where I broke down exactly how I built my website, evanranft.com. So if you're watching this video thinking, how do I sell prints online? That video is linked in the description on this video, so you can go check it out and you can see exactly how I built my site. And here's the thing, you don't necessarily have to be selling prints to get started with a website. It's one of the most valuable things you can do as a photographer for your business. Think of how many times you've been out with your camera photographing something and someone asks, are you a photographer? The answer should be yes, and you should have a website to direct them to. In that video I just mentioned that's linked in the description on this video, I show you how to set up a homepage on your site that has a contact me button, so people who are interested in booking you can click that button and basically contact you for booking immediately. It's that easy, it's quick and simple. Squarespace is known for their award-winning customer service, as well as these easily customizable templates that basically take all the excuses out of why you can't have a website. So head over to squarespace.com/EvanRanft to start a free trial today and use code EvanRanft to get 10% off your first purchase. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring the video. Now, the first mistake we got to talk about, which is damaging your prints. Now, there is nothing worse than getting a print in the mail, getting ready to send it to a client, to a person who bought it, and doing something to ruin it. Now, over the last few years, there's a few things I've learned to basically limit the amount of damage you can do. One is wear gloves. In the intro video, you saw me put some gloves on my hands. This is to basically remove any accidents. Your hands have natural oils. You touch things all day. All it takes is one weird thing to be on your hands that makes its way to the print, and it's ruined. It's happened to me before. And another thing that I left out on that intro on purpose as a little learning example, you notice how I put the print on a piece of cardboard. You do not want to do this. What you want to do is lay out a sheet or something clean that you can put the print on to sign, so nothing gets transferred over to the print and nothing ruins it. It's pretty simple, straightforward. You just want to be clinical about it. Be clean and make sure nothing can touch the print to cause any issues. Now, one other thing that I like to do is I like to print my prints on some type of mount. Now, one drawback to doing this, yes, it's mounted, yes, you're not as worried about damage, but it's more expensive to print, which means you have to charge more, and it can also be a little bit more expensive to ship. So here's what I like to do to avoid damage when I'm shipping a print. What I do is I buy these bags on Uline or Amazon, any type of shipping website. I put my print in the bag, fold it up, tape it, and then I take 2 pieces of cardboard just like this, and I sandwich the print in between the pieces of cardboard. If I can actually get this open, put it in there like so. You saw that in an introduction. And what I'll do is I'll tape down that print, usually on one side to make sure it stays flat. I don't want to tape all 4 sides because it can get damaged when someone's actually taking it out of the packaging. But I tape it down to make sure it's flat, close this off, tape the end, and then I go ahead and slide it into this box just like on the introduction video, and it's as simple as that. Now the print is protected, it's safe inside that box. The only thing that can really damage it is if like something punctures through the box or it gets completely crushed. But those are the main things I do to make sure damage is limited when I actually have the prints in my possession. And also, I signed that print with a Sharpie in the video. Typically, I like to use a metallic Sharpie on something like this that's mounted. I'll sign the back. On paper prints like that, I don't always recommend Sharpie because it can bleed through. Sharpie on that type of paper might not be the move. Now, number 2 is lowering the price of your prints because you want to increase sales. It's this weird mental game we play with ourselves where we think, okay, if I price the print at this amount, I'll sell this many and I'll feel successful. When in reality, all you're doing is cutting out your profits and essentially giving your work away for close to nothing. So let's do an example here. Let's say your print costs $100 to make and you decide to sell that print for $120. To make a $1,000 profit, you are going to need to sell 50 of those prints because your profit is only $20. So for us, our price is $100. We want to mark this up to $300. What this does is it allows room for discrepancies. Let's say you want to run a sale on your site where you do 25% off over the weekend. Now that print selling at $300 at 25% off, your profit is still gonna be $125, which means to reach that $1,000 in profit, you only need to sell 8 prints. 8 prints as opposed to 50 prints. It seems a lot easier, right? I think you can find 8 people who can pay that $225 on sale versus 50 people who want to pay $100 or $120, whatever it was. You see, it's just like a game you play with yourself where you think, I'm going to price this lower so more people can get it. But what happens is when certain costs come up, things like the price of your website membership, things like extra shipping costs, things like maybe a weird address that costs more to ship, it eats into that small profit you already have to where you're basically making no money, which leads us into the third thing I want to talk about today, which is estimating shipping costs properly. Your boy has messed this up before. Bad. So years ago, the first time I ever did a large print run, it was in 2015. I sold 45 copies of a print. I priced them low because I wanted to sell more of them. This is the scenario that actually inspired the second thing on this list. But I priced them low, I sold out of them, but I didn't take into account how I was going to ship these prints beforehand. I just thought I'll go to UPS, I'll be good to go. I charged like $10 for shipping, didn't seem like a big deal. Well, I ran out of boxes. I thought I had enough. Last minute, I had to go to Staples or something like that because I was scrambling to ship out the prints. That cost me way more money than it should. I recommend Uline or Amazon for shipping supplies. So that cost extra money taking care of that. Then on top of that, when you ship with UPS, shipping with UPS, there's a variation depending on like the truck it's going to be on, the weight, the size of it, where exactly it's going, the distance traveled. So there can be a big discrepancy in the price of printing. Every single print that I sold cost more to ship than what I charged people for shipping. So all that extra cost came out of pocket. Basically, at the end of selling those 45 prints, I think I made like $30 total. It was a disaster. It was horrible. And because of all these extra costs and because I was unprepared and didn't know how much it was going to cost to ship, I essentially gave all my artwork away for free, which I mean is cool. I'm glad these people have it, but that's not really the point of selling something and having a business. You don't want to just give your stuff away for free. So here's what I do to counterbalance that now. Every print that I sell, I know exactly what it's going to be shipping in beforehand. So let's say we have this square print right here. I know this square print is going to be shipped in that bag, which is going to be shipped between these 2 pieces of cardboard, which is going to be shipped in that box. So I order 40 pieces of cardboard, 20 bags, 20 boxes, and I know everything is going to weigh the exact same amount, meaning I can get a better estimate of exactly how much it's going to cost to ship these things. Now, I use a shipping software now, which makes everything a lot easier for me, but what I would recommend to anyone starting out is, one, if you really want to make it easy, start with a print that fits into a priority mail box by USPS. These cost, I think, $15 to ship, typically in a medium size, so maybe make your print, I don't know, like an 8x10, I think should be able to fit in there. Start with that, do the same method of between 2 pieces of cardboard, get it in there, send it out, and now you know to charge everyone the exact same amount in the US. But let's say you want to use a box that's more like this size. What you can do is make sure every box is the exact same size, figure out the weight once it is packed. So pack one of these, figure out the dimensions of it, and then take it to your post office and ask them, hey, if I ship this in town, how much will it cost? And if I ship this to Washington or somewhere really far away, what would it cost? And they'll be able to give you some insight and help you out so you can figure out a range of how much it's going to cost to ship. Typically, prints will ship US priority mail. Typically, they weigh too much to ship with first class mail, so priority is what I end up using. But honestly, if I have the option to ship something in a priority mail flat rate box, I'll go for it every time because it makes your life so much easier. So the point of number 3 is make sure you get an idea of what it's going to cost to ship, how much the shipping supplies are going to cost, and just don't be underprepared with shipping because it can really cut into your profits if you're not careful. So I'm working on this edit right now, and there's something I want to make clear on this. The next part, I'm talking about more art-related prints. If you're someone who makes prints of events or portraits or something like that, you don't have to worry about this. I actually recommend drop shipping. I'm talking more about art-related prints, like if you're a street photographer, landscape photographer, basically creating any type of art and people are buying it, you're going to want to apply this mistake. But if you're not in that category, feel free to drop ship and ignore the next thing I'm talking about. Number 4 is not signing your work. Now, I understand that in today's internet e-commerce world, drop shipping is the way to go. It's so easy, it's so simple. Someone buys something on your site, another service prints it, sends it right to them. This is great for basically everything unless you're making art, in my personal opinion. One of the big things when it comes to selling prints is the fact that someone is purchasing a piece of work from an artist, from a photographer, from a person that they like. They like this thing, they want to feel this connection. And if you don't sign the piece of work that you're selling them, there is no connection. You never even touched it. It doesn't feel real. This is the biggest question I get from people when they ask, do you do prints? I say yes. They say, I want to buy one. And they always say, will you sign it? This is a huge thing. It creates a real connection between people, and it makes art feel like art. When someone shows off a piece of artwork that they purchased, they have it hanging in their home, they want that signature to be on there. They want it to feel authentic. So while drop shipping, yes, can be easy and convenient, it's just not as connecting as signing a print is. So take that extra step, have the print delivered to you, take it out of the box, take it out of the bag, sign it, put it back in the box, ship it out. All right, one more thing. The next part of this video, I'm talking a lot about social media promotion. That's not the only way you can promote yourself. You can promote yourself in person, face-to-face with your friends, with your family, with people in your community, at your church, at your school, or if you have like a church newsletter or you have a school newsletter or any type of promotion in general. I'm talking a lot about social media because that's where I have my experience, but you can apply this to any type of promotion across the board. So number 5 on this list, the last thing we're talking about today, is under promotion. I don't know what it is about me. It's this weird thing I do in my head where I put something out on social media. Let's say the prints that I just did that are on my site now, I put those out on social media and I say new prints available. And in the past, that would be it. I do the one post, I might do an Instagram story, I might do a Twitter post, and then I just leave it alone because in my head, I've already talked about it. I don't want to over promote it. I don't want to be annoying. And yes, there is a fine line between over promotion and being annoying, but you also need to make sure people know the thing you're trying to sell is out there and available. Today's social media world is so controlled by algorithms, people don't see everything you post. It's also this weird self-sabotage defense mechanism game we play with ourselves where I think most of us are scared to put our work out there online and sell it because we face the risk of someone not buying it. If no one buys the print that we made, it's embarrassing, it feels not good, it makes you question, are you good as an artist? So by under promoting the thing that you're selling, you kind of give yourself a way out mentally of, I mean, I only posted it a little bit, it's not a big deal that they didn't sell. You see what I mean? It's like this defense mechanism we do with ourselves. So try to avoid that. Get out there, promote what you're doing. Don't be annoying, don't be over the top, but also don't under promote. Don't think that just because you talk about something once means everyone who wants to know about it knows about it. So there we go. That is 5 huge mistakes that I've made with printing my work over the last few years. I made all these mistakes so you don't have to. Hopefully you learned something in today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching today. And remember, if you want a video on how I built my website to sell prints, I have a video showing literally step by step exactly how I did that. It's linked in the description on today's video. Y'all are the truth, and I'll see you next time.